Shalom, my Hebrews and Shebrews. This is Oilfield Disciple. Welcome to the channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Uh, Let us do our daily bread today. We will be, what is today, day 20th. So we will be in Genesis chapter 20, Matthew chapter 20, Psalms chapter 20. See, I messed up yesterday. Psalms 21. Yep. And Proverbs 7. Tonight starts Pesach, Passover. Me and my wife and daughter will be doing the Passover. I hope each of you are doing the Passover tonight. I do know that in Numbers chapter 9 that it gives that Yahweh gives us a 30-day extension. If you are traveling or you are ceremonial unclean, you can do the Passover 30 days from now. I looked at that and contemplated actually doing that 30-day extension, um, but really I can do it, so we're going to go ahead and do it now. Now with Passover tomorrow, beginning unleavened bread, we got to make sure we have all of our leaven out of the house um, by tomorrow, and so you don't have to destroy it, you don't have to tear it up, but box it up and put it somewhere in a barn or something, somewhere safe where the rats can't get to it or mice can't get to it, or the elements can get to it. So we will be completing that this evening if my wife hasn't already done it by the time I get home. So with that said, I'll probably do a Passover video here in a little while, maybe. Um, Anyway, with that said, I've got a sunrise this morning for y'all, and we will get to reading our scriptures. Bereshit, chapter 21, or chapter 20. You know, when you're doing your reading club like this, like what we're doing, and if especially if you're doing the 10 club, it's important to get a notebook and keep track of where you're at, because you will get lost. You will forget what you've done the day before, um, especially when the chapter starts getting all mixed up, where you're doing like chapter 10 of the Old Testament or something, and you're doing like chapter 25 of another one. You will begin to lose track. So, Bereshit 20, verse 1 says, "And Abraham set out from there to the land of the south, and sojourned between Kadesh and Shur, and stayed in Gerar. And Abraham said concerning Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech, okay, making sure we're where we're supposed to be. And Abimelech, sovereign of Gerar, sent and took Sarah." The sun's getting bright. Now remember, this already happened once over in Egypt. "But Elohim came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, See, you are a dead man because of a woman whom you have taken, for she is a man's wife. However, Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, Yahweh, would you kill a righteous nation also? Did he not say to me, She is my sister? And she, even herself, said, He is my brother?" Now, we mentioned this the last time. I mean, this is not necessarily totally, truly, 100% a lie on Abraham and Sarah's part. They are half brother and sister, so they're not totally lying, but not totally truthful either. Well, that sun is hard. And Elohim said to him in a dream, Yes, I know that you did this in the integrity of your heart, and so I kept you from sinning against me. Against who? Against Abraham? No, from sinning against me. Sinning against Sarah? No, from sinning against the Lord. For this reason, I did not let you touch her. And now, return the man's wife, for he is a prophet. Wait a minute. Abraham's a prophet? We never heard that before. Well, you have now. Check it out. And now return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and let him pray for you, and you will live. But if you do not return her, know that you shall certainly die, you and all that is yours. So Abimelech rose early in the morning, called his servants, and spoke all these words in their hearing. And the men were greatly afraid. And Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, What have you done to us? And what have I sinned against you, that you have brought on me and on my reign a great sin? You have done matters to me that should not be done. And Abimelech said to Abraham, What do you have in view that you have done this matter? Abraham said, Only because I said, The fear of Elohim is not in this place, and they shall kill me for the sake of my wife. And yet she is truly, and yet she is truly my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. It came to be, see, in other words, he's like, well, I just said she was my sister. I didn't get out the part that she's also my wife. You just kind of ran off with her. So it's really your fault. Let's flip the script here, and let's blame somebody else. Abraham's kind of sly. I'm gonna pour me some coffee right quick. I can do that and read. And it came to be when Elohim caused me to wander from my father's house that I said to her, This is your loving commitment that you should do for me. In every place, wherever we go, say of me, He's my brother. And Abimelech took sheep and cattle, and male and female servants, and gave them to Abraham. And he returned Sarah, his wife, to him. And Abimelech said, See, my land is before you. Dwell wherever is good in your eyes. And to Sarah he said, See, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. See, it is to you a covering of eyes before all who are with you, and before all others, and you are cleared before everyone. And Abraham prayed to Elohim, and Elohim healed Abimelech and his wife and his female servants, so they bore children. For Yahweh had closed up the wombs of all the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Let's turn to Psalms. If you're new to the channel, we read the scripture and I give a little commentary as I feel the urgency to. But mainly this is just read the scriptures, get them in you, and then you can go back afterwards and anything that you see that inspires you to deeply research and study, by all means. So Psalms 21. The sovereign rejoices in your strength, O Yahweh, and how greatly he exults in your deliverance. You have given him the desire of his heart, and you have not withheld the request of his lips. Selah. For you have put before him the blessings of goodness. You set a crown of fine gold on his head. He asked life from you, and you gave it to him. Length of days forever and ever. Through your deliverance, his esteem is great. You have laid excellency and splendor on him, for you have made him most blessed forever. You have made him glad with the joy of your presence. For the sovereign is trusting in Yahweh, and through the loving commitment of the Most High he is not moved. Your hand reaches all your enemies. Your right hand reaches those who hate you. You make them a furnace of fire in the time of your presence. Yahweh does swallow them up in his wrath, and fire does consume them. You destroy their fruit from the earth, and their seed from among the sons of men. For they held out evil against you. They devised a plot. They do not prevail. for you make them turn their back. When you aim with your bowstring toward their faces, be exalted, O Yahweh, in your strength. We sing and we praise your might. Proverbs 7. Mishle 7. Man, that's a beautiful sunrise this morning. 7:1. My son, guard my words and treasure up my commands with you. Guard my commands and live. And my Torah as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, here we are again. You are my sister, and call and understand a close friend. And call understanding a close friend. To guard you against the strange woman. Okay, we're going to be talking about the false religious system, the false church. To guard you against the strange woman, against the foreigner who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my lattice, and I saw among the simple, I perceived among the youths a young man lacking heart, praising through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And look, a woman met him, dressed like a whore, with a hidden heart. She was boisterous and stubborn. Her feet did not stay at her own house. Now in the street, now in the square, and at every corner she lurks. And she took hold of him, kissed him, and she hardened her face and said to him, Slaughterings of peace offerings are with me. Today I have paid my vows. Therefore I came out to meet you, to earnestly seek your face, and I found you. Really, we just want your money, we want your tithes, and we don't really care if your soul goes to hell. Verse 16, I have spread my bed with coverings, colored linens of Mitzrayim. I have sprinkled my bed with myrrh, aloe, and cinnamon. That's a counterfeit. Come, let us take our fill of carnal love until morning. Let us delight ourselves with love, for my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He took a bag of silver with him. He comes home on the day of the covering, which is the day of atonement. With her many words she leads him astray. With her smooth lips she seduces him. He goes after her immediately. Like an ox he goes to the slaughter, and as in chains a fool to the punishment, till an arrow strikes through his liver, like a bird rushing to a snare, and did not know it would take his life. And now listen to me, you children. Pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not go astray in her paths. For many are the wounded. For many are the wounded she has caused to fall, and numerous all her killed ones. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the rooms of death. Do not be led astray to this false religious system, y'all. The world has holidays. Yahweh has holy days, appointed times, appointed feast days. Don't get caught up in this Easter, but rather follow the Moedim. The first, uh, the first feast day of the year is the one we're coming up on, Pesach, Passover. First fruits and unleavened bread, all within the next 8 days. Beginning tonight at sundown. Tomorrow is a holy. It says, tomorrow shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work. You will find this in Leviticus chapter 23. Let's see what's happening with Matthew over here in verse 21. Or chapter 21. Matityahu. We're supposed to be in 20 or 21. Oh, no momento. We're supposed to be in 20. Yep. Matityahu 20. Sorry. For the reign of the heavens is like a man, a householder, who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the workers for a denarius a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. He said to them, You too go into the vineyard, and whatever is right I shall give you. And they went. Having gone out again about the 6th and 9th hour, he did likewise. And about the 11th hour, having gone out, he found others standing idle, and said to them, Why do you stand here, idle all day? They said to him, Because no one hired us. He said to them, You too go into the vineyard, and whatever is right you shall receive. And when evening came, the master of the vineyard said to his manager, Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last to the first. Remember we just read yesterday, the last shall be first and the first last? Or the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And when those came who were hired about the 11th hour, they received a denarius. And when the first came, they thought they would receive more, but they too received each a silver piece. And when they received it, they grumbled against the householder, saying, These last have worked only 1 hour, and you made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the heat of the day? He answering said to them, Friend, I do you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? Take yours and go. But I wish to give Take yours and go, but I wish to give to this last man as also to you. Is it not right for me to do what I wish with my own? Or is your eye evil because I am good? Thus the last shall be first and the first last. For many are called, but few are chosen. Let's keep reading. And Yeshua, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 taught ones aside on the way and said to them, See, we are going to Jerusalem, and the Son of Adam shall be delivered up to the chief priests and to the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and deliver him to the nations to mock and flog him, to impale. And the third day he'll be raised. Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee came to him with her sons, bowing down and making a request of him. He said to her, What do you wish? She said to him, Command that these 2 sons of mine might sit, one on your right and one on your left, in your reign. But Yeshua answered and said, You do not know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup that I am about to drink, and be immersed with the immersion that I am immersed with? They said to him, We're able. He said to them, You shall indeed drink my cup. You shall be immersed with the immersion that I am immersed. But to sit on my right or my left is not mine to give, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were displeased at the 2 brothers. But Yeshua called them near and said, You know that the rulers of the nations are masters over them, and those who are great exercise authority over them. But it shall not be so among you. But whoever wishes to become great among you, let him be your servant. And whoever wishes to be first among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Adam did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many. That's what we're each called to do for one another. And as they were leaving Jericho, which is Jericho, a large crowd followed him. And see, 2 blind men sitting by the way, having heard that Yeshua was passing, cried out, saying, Have compassion on us, O Master, Son of David. And the crowd rebuked them that they should be silent. But they cried out all the more, saying, Have compassion on us, O Master, Son of David. And Yeshua stopped and called them and said, What do you wish me to do for you? And they said to him, Master, that our eyes be opened. And having been moved with compassion, Yeshua touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes received sight, and they followed him. That's a good prayer for each of us to pray each day. Lord, open my eyes, open my heart, open my ears. Give me a heart to repent. I prayed that for a long many days. And be prepared for your eyes to be open. Be prepared, like literally, kind of like taking the red pill and the blue pill, as we've seen in the Matrix. Are you sure you want to do this? You're sure. Trust me. You'll want this. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, you're new, go ahead and click on that subscribe if you like the content. Um, Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever. You got any comments or questions, feel free to hit me up in the comment section down below. Uh, I guess that's it for now. I'm gonna go hit a couple more leases, and then we'll do hanging with the prophets. And so I pray y'all be blessed, be encouraged, and always be frustrated. This is Oilfield Disciple. I will catch you on the next ride.